Hello everybody, this is Jeff, the Hawaiian Brocanic. Hello gang, welcome back to the channel. Today's project, I'll be installing some rock lights. Now, if you're watching this video, you've probably checked out other videos on YouTube and probably have done your research on the internet. And the lights I decided to go with it was purchased off of Amazon, and the company is called Ledmircy. Now, there are a plethora of rock lights that are available from 4 light configuration up to 20 lights, and the one that I purchased has 20 lights to it. Now, these are not the RGB lights that can change colors. These are just your pure white rock lights. And the reason why I didn't do the RGB lights, because here in Arizona, they're illegal. And in most states, they're illegal. You know, it is pretty neat to have those cool colors, but you know, you will definitely get unwelcome attention, and chances are you probably will get pulled over. And you know, I said, I'm not even hassle with that. I'm getting these rock lights more for function when I'm off-roading or when we're camping at night. So we're gonna take a look and see what's in the box, talk about some issues that we may run into because of the lifted truck, because of the body lift especially. And also, these are the type of lights that are not plug and play. So there's gonna be some soldering, some cutting, and some routing. So with that said, let's take a look and see what's in the box. Okay, so lights came in this box, straight from Amazon. No fancy packaging here. Comes with a basic installation guide here. It just kind of goes over just, you know, placement and just, you know, how to wire this thing up. But you really don't really need this because it's just 2 wires, positive and negative. Each of the pods come in a bag like this with the hardware. Okay. And also, you also have these rubber mounts. Now you can utilize these if you'd like, or just go ahead and just bolt them on just like this directly. So in other YouTube videos, a lot of folks just kind of install these without the mounts. So either or, you know, whatever your preference is. So with your installation, you're gonna need a few items. You're gonna need some primary wire. You know, anywhere you can use 18 or 16 gauge. It doesn't matter as long as you kind of keep it all the same, right? If you're going to use 16, let it be 16 throughout the vehicle, or 18, let it be 18 all the way through. You're also going to need some self-drilling screws. Now, the hardware that comes with it, you know, will work. I'll use those for the fender liners, but when I go to install these lights underneath the vehicle, to the frame, or to the body, I'll be using self-drilling screws. You're gonna need some shrink tubing, a couple of boxes of these, some wire loom. I got this over from Harbor Freight, and this is just to have the installation nice and clean. You know, I mean, the wire's hidden rather than having all these things just kind of hanging out. Other items that I'm using are going to be these cable mounting bases. What this is essentially is a little piece like this that has enables you to slide a zip tie to fasten down you know, wires. In this case, I'll be using this to fasten down the wire loom, again for a clean look. Also these 2-wire pigtail male to female set. Now this here I think is a must, especially if you're having multiple lights in your fender well. Now, what you can do is you get 3 of these lights soldered together, and this allows for 3 into 1, and this goes to your source here, and it's just a quick disconnect. So if I needed to pull out the liner for whatever reason, you know, I just disconnect this, and I'll have the 3 lights intact, and I can easily take out my fender liner. Inline fuse holder. Again, in a previous video when I did the train horn install, each of your accessories, train horn, you know, fog lights, additional lighting should always have a inline fuse holder. Now this is a 30 amp one, and this should be sufficient for those lights. Now being that they're LED, they shouldn't draw that much, but you know, I'm still gonna go ahead and put an inline fuse holder as well. Soldering iron, some solder, and of course, you know, switches. I got a couple of options here. I got one that's LED lit and one that's just your standard toggle. So depending on, you know, I'm kind of debating on which one I'm going to use. Also got these waterproof butt connectors. That's from AutoZone. A lot of the stuff here is from AutoZone, and I'll leave a description in the link and a link below in the comment section for you if folks are wondering what I'm using and where to get them. So that's pretty much it. It's going to be pretty time consuming because of cutting, measuring, and soldering. But, you know, this should be a pretty straightforward install. All right, so that's pretty much the gist of it. Now, like anything else, when you do any kind of electrical work on your vehicle, safety first. So make sure you disconnect your the negative terminal off your battery there, so you don't cause an arc and start a fire. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section, and I'll get to it and do my best to answer your questions or concerns. This install takes roughly about 2 to 3 hours, and it all depends on, you know, where you're installing your lights and you know, and what type of kit that you have. So now this one is specifically for the Ledmircy lights. So this will take a little bit longer because of the cutting, splicing, and soldering. There's other kits out there that is pretty much plug and play. When I say plug and play, they've got wires. All you have to do is just, you know, attach your extensions and then try to find a way to hide those wires in the cleanest way possible. So I'll leave a link in the description for all the items that I used in today's installation. With that said, let's start mechanicking. Okay, so I got the first 3 pods installed on the driver's side fender well liner. Let's take a look at that. All right, so again, the pods were installed and relatively easy. And these liners, they puncture through pretty easy with a regular drill bit. And what I did was drill 3 holes, as you've seen earlier, and that's for these two retaining bolts here, and this is for the wire to feed through. So the 3rd hole is right there, and it's just as simple as sticking in the bolts and then tightening up the nut in the back. So that's what the rear looks like right there. And again, it's a pretty simple install. So I won't bore you with the passenger side install. I'm going to do is we're going to jump ahead over to the rear fender wells and how I get those set up. And then after that, we'll move along to routing the wires and getting the switch connected and all that fun stuff and all the soldering. So let's keep mechanicking. Okay, so got the three pods wired up into one receptacle here, and you know the wire loom, you know, makes it look pretty pretty clean. You know, this part here is kind of hidden. I'd use a little bit of electrical tape here to cover up the solder right here. I use some shrink wrap, but just for extra, you know, I just decided to just, wrap a little bit of electrical tape up there. And then solder all the wires together, and then run it through the loom to this quick connect, disconnect receptacle here. So going to do the same for all the other fender liners, all the other lights, and then we'll move on. All right, so all of the wires have been soldered together. And attached to the connector here. Okay, so that's where we're at right now, as far as the installation is concerned. So, so soldering the wires, you know, that's, you know, on a lot of the other YouTube videos, they don't really give you an example of like how they're connecting these lights together. Now, if these aren't the plug and play ones, then, you know, you got to get pretty creative. Now, there's a couple of YouTube videos out there that talk about how they run positive, negative wires on either side, and they just kind of connect the lights to that, but they never really show you an illustration or, you know, give you an illustration of like how they did it. So I'm gonna just really quick show you how I connected 3 lights onto the primary line and had that line continue on down the side of the frame there to connect the remaining lights. Okay, so I'm going to use this spare wire right here, just kind of give you an illustration of how I connected the 3 pods into one line, and how I got how I connected the other line, or the other half of the line that runs towards the frame along the bed to connect the remaining lights. So we're going to say that these right here, let's say that these are the pod lights, the 3 that are installed in the front fender liner there. So all I did was connect all 3 of the wires like so. And then take the one that also runs along the side of the frame in the bed. And then this shorter one here, we'll say that this is coming from the switch. So all I do then is I do a Western Union like so. Again, folks, this is just an illustration, just an example. Okay, so, and that's pretty much it. So the 3 positives go to the pods, and then this one here runs along the end of the frame, and this is from the switch. So how do I clean that up? You know, I just go take some shrink tubing, and then it's just leftover stuff that I have. Well, let me solder it first. Then we put the shrink tubing on there. So soldering can be tricky. Just kind of put a big old bead right there. Just let it sit, and then when it heats up the wire, it'll suck the solder in. So I'll heat that up really quick, and then add a little bit more solder. And then you'll see it kind of suck it in there. Okay, so this is just an example. And then what I do then is I take the shrink tubing, now you think I'd have one of those blowtorch type lighter deals, but you know, I've been meaning to do that, so I do it the old-fashioned way, the lighter. And again, this is just for demonstration purposes. The shrink tubing is a little too large, but you know, that's what I got kind of laying around. So, You grab some electrical tape on the ends, which I did, just to give it a good seal. Go around like that. There you have it. So again, these three positive wires go through the positive wires onto the pods, and then this here will continue to run along the lines of the frame or the bed, and this is from this goes to the switch. And to even clean it up a little bit more, you know, it's got this 1/4-inch tubing, like so, like this. Slide it right up like that. You know, zip tie it for a totally clean look. So I hope this helps. You know, and that's how you split the wires to distribute power to all the lights. Okay, so what I got so far, I've got 2 of the pods installed here up front. They're kind of sitting at an angle, just a tad bit, pointing towards the subframe here. Now I've got 2 other lights on either side. The passenger and on driver's side, so I've got it mounted that way at an angle as well, like so. And then I've got 2 that I've mounted in the rear. Here and here. So this will be firing straight down. Okay, so just mounted the switch for the rock lights right here, easily accessible. These 2 other switches here are for my my train horn, and that's the horn right there. What I did here was run the wires to the back. Again, these are just positive. So the switch will close the circuit, allowing the power from the positive lead to power the lights. So pretty easy. Cleaned up the wiring there. The wire loom really makes the project look totally clean now. I got some areas where I got some wires exposed, but actually ran out of wire loom, and I'll just go and pick some up later on and cover up the exposed parts. So if we take a look underneath, not too shabby. That's the sides. Let me take a look at the front. So again, I got some exposed parts, but those are the quick disconnects right there. And some of the pods. Okay, just got through connecting the positive and negative wires directly to the battery. The wire loom really helps with making the installation totally clean. I mean, you can't tell that that I've got anything aftermarket on here, but I mean, I've got like leads for my amp steps, my train horn, I mean, all kinds of stuff in here, and now the rock lights. So yeah, can't even tell that anything was done. So the installation took a little bit longer than I thought it would. Typical installation is about 3 to 4 hours, but I really took my time using the wire loom and doing solder connections rather than just using butt connectors and splicers and all that stuff. But the end result though is I don't have to go back, you know, to zip tie a bunch of these wires and, you know, just kind of go through the entire deal again. Some of the YouTube videos, they show the guys just like, they got like a wad full of wires and they're like, oh yeah, I'll get to it later. And you know how that goes. But yeah, the installation took about 8 hours to do. It's only because I took my time. I just wanted to do it right and just get it done one time rather than have to go back and redo it until, you know, I get it right. So what I'm going to do is kill the lights here and give you a sampling of what these rock lights look like. Yeah, these lights are pretty bright. So what I did here was 3 lights, and they're a bit staggered, but they really fill up the fender well with a lot of light. And then we got the 2 right up front here. That's one, and that's the other one. And that highlights the front end there. And 2 lights on either side. Just gonna kind of go underneath here really quick, and that's one of them. There's the other one. Sorry, man. You guys are probably getting dizzy. And then the rear also has 3 lights as well. And it really does shine. I mean, the only dead spot really is just the dry shaft. All right, gang. Well, this wraps up another project. This was the Ledmircy rock light install. These are the 20 pods. And as you have seen earlier, that this requires a little bit more work with the install, being that it doesn't have you know, remote control, Bluetooth capability, and you know, all the fancy schmancy stuff. You know, this is you know, just a straightforward connect all the positives together and the negatives together, add a switch to it. Yeah, I mean, I like the way it turned out. These lights are very bright. And you know, if you guys have any questions on any of the issues that I'm going to run into, or what my thoughts are on it, you know, I'll down the road I'll do a review on it, a follow-up, see how these lights hold out. We're due to go camping here right after Christmas, and I'll take this around the back roads at night, maybe shoot a video there for you guys, so you can see what the lights look like in action. So other than that, thanks for visiting the channel, guys. Really appreciate you guys checking out the videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you guys like to see anything that, or like to see a project, or have any questions, or want me to do a video on something, just drop me a line, and you know, I'll give it a shot, see what I can do. So until then, guys, we'll see you next time. She's your Hawaiian Volcanic. Aloha.